All right, welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right into this, shall we? I want you to imagine something for a second. You wake up, you've poured your absolute heart and soul into creating an incredible product or service, you finally set up your business, and then crickets. Literally nothing happens. And why is that? Because while you have this amazing product, you are absolutely terrified to actually sell it. Look, it's a completely normal feeling, but today we are going to fix it.
If you're a beginner entrepreneur, a freelancer, or a creator, whether you're hustling in Legos, designing in Accra, or trading up in Abuja, I know exactly what's going through your head. You're worried about being judged, right? You're terrified of coming across as needy or manipulative or just plain annoying when you promote your work. But what if I told you that you've been looking at sales entirely wrong? What if selling didn't have to feel pushy or desperate at all?
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll hit the truth about sales. Second, the psychology of buying. Third is value over features. After that, navigating objections and closing. And finally, building a sales system.
Okay, let's move right into section 1, the truth about sales. And the subtitle really says it all. Selling is serving.
We've got to tackle the biggest misconception out there right away. This idea that sales means aggressively convincing somebody to buy something they don't even need. Imagine someone is walking down the street, it's absolutely pouring rain, and they are getting utterly soaked. You happen to have an umbrella for sale. If you offer to sell it to them, are you harming them or are you helping them? You are helping them. You hold the solution to their immediate problem. When your product solves a real problem, selling is fundamentally an act of service. It's not manipulation, it's just communication. There's a massive, massive difference between bad sales and good sales. Bad sales? That focuses entirely on the seller. It's that desperate internal monologue going, man, I need rent money today. I have to make a sale right now. And trust me, customers can smell that desperation from a mile away. Good sales, on the other hand, flips the script. It asks, what problem does this person have? And can I actually help solve it? When you adopt that ethical, customer-focused approach, you naturally disarm their defenses and start building genuine trust.
That brings us perfectly to section 2, the psychology of buying, emotion before logic.
Let's pop the hood and look at the underlying psychological triggers that actually make a customer say yes. I mean, have you ever run into the store just to grab a loaf of bread and walked out with a whole cart full of snacks? Of course you have. We all do it. And that's because human beings are highly emotional decision makers. People buy things to achieve 5 specific outcomes: to solve problems, save time, make money, feel better, or avoid pain. We make the decision to buy based on those emotional desires first. And then, well, then we just justify it logically afterward with things like product specs and price.
So, the really crucial takeaway here is that people buy perceived value, not just the base product. Think about an identical bottle of water. You buy it from a trader on the street, it might cost 300 naira. Take that exact same bottle of water, put it inside a luxury hotel, suddenly it costs 1,500 naira. The water didn't magically change. The perceived value changed. People are paying for the convenience, the beautiful environment, the feeling. If you can clearly communicate your value, your customers are going to focus far less on your price. But hold on, before any of that can happen, you absolutely need this one thing: trust. Trust is the invisible bridge between a customer and a purchase. Now, if you are a brand new business without a massive track record, you might be feeling a little discouraged right now. But don't sweat it. Every giant company out there started with literally 0 customers. You just have to earn that trust through honesty, competence, and total transparency before anyone is going to hand over their hard-earned money. If you don't know the answer to a question, be honest about it. You might lose a single sale today, but you'll gain the credibility you need for a dozen tomorrow.
All right, section 3, value over features, translating your offer.
We need to talk about why rattling off a huge list of technical specifications often leaves your customers completely confused and just totally unmotivated. Value is simply the benefit a customer receives compared to what they have to give up, which is their money, their time, and their energy. When you are talking to a customer, they are unconsciously standing there asking, okay, but how does this help me? Why should I care? They don't actually care about what your product is. They care entirely about what your product does for them.
To make this shift in your brain, I want you to start using this really powerful 3-part formula: feature to benefit to outcome. Let's say you're selling an online course. The feature is the course itself. Maybe it has 40 video lessons. The benefit? The customer can learn new skills at their own pace. But the outcome? That's the gold mine. The outcome is increased income opportunities and financial freedom. Always, always connect your feature to that final outcome. That is exactly how you translate your offer into something absolutely irresistible.
Let's dive right into Section 4, Navigating Objections and Closing. Navigating the no.
Okay, we are officially at the part of the buying process that induces the most fear, customer hesitation. Hearing the phrase, "it's too expensive," probably makes your stomach completely drop, right? It's the objection every creator dreads, the one that makes you want to just hide under your desk, but I need you to completely reframe this. Scratch the fear. An objection is not a rejection. When a customer says this, it's actually a massive signal that they are seriously evaluating your offer. They're literally just trying to reduce their risk. Think about it. They wouldn't ask questions or push back on price if they didn't care at all.
So how exactly do we handle this friction? Use this simple 4-step method. First, just listen carefully. Don't interrupt them. Second, acknowledge their concern. Validate how they're feeling. Third, ask questions. If they drop the "it's too expensive" line on you, ask them a helpful question like, "Oh, okay, what are you comparing it to?" Or, "Can you help me understand your concern about the price?" See how that opens up a dialogue instead of a debate? And fourth, respond calmly with evidence. Whatever you do, don't get defensive.
Once you've gracefully handled their concerns, it's time to close. And the reality of closing is actually super simple. It just means guiding the customer toward a decision. That's it. It's not about begging, and it's definitely not about trapping them. You can completely demystify the close by using really natural, low-pressure questions. Just ask, "So, which option works best for you?" Or, "Would you like to get started today?" If you've communicated your value and built real trust, asking for the sale is literally just the natural next step in the conversation.
And that brings us to our final stretch. Section 5, Building a Sales System, Moving from Luck to Predictable Revenue.
We need to equip you with the exact mechanics to turn this whole new mindset into a repeatable business engine. I highly recommend you screenshot this 6-stage pipeline, because amateurs rely on luck, but professionals rely on systems. Step 1, find prospects. Step 2, start conversations. Step 3, listen and understand their problems. Step 4, present your solution based entirely on those problems. Step 5, confidently ask for the sale. And Step 6, follow up. By actively tracking these steps every single day, you take random lucky sales and turn them into a consistent daily habit.
Now, there is an insane amount of financial value in that final step, the follow-up. A lot of entrepreneurs think the job is 100% done the second the payment clears. But a transaction only puts food on the table today. A relationship generates income for years. Checking in on a customer, making sure they are genuinely happy, answering their questions, that turns a one-time buyer into a loyal advocate. And repeat, loyal customers, they are absolutely the ultimate marketing asset for your long-term growth.
So, I want to wrap up this explainer by turning the mirror back on you for a second. Take a hard look at your business right now. Is your current sales approach just a quick transaction, or are you actually building a long-term relationship? It's time to drop the fear. Stop worrying about looking pushy and start embracing selling as serving. You have a genuinely great product that can actually help people. So implement this ethical system today, focus on the relationships, and watch how your business transforms. Catch you next time.